Hello, hello. Getting a couple more things set up real quick. And then we'll be good to go. How's everybody doing tonight? Just gonna assemble a couple of references. And then we'll be good to go. Alright, I think I've got everything in order. Okay, so, welcome. Today is going to be a little different. It's not going to be super sensical. I am just going to be hashing out ideas for a little summer project I've been working on. Any of y'all coming from my Instagram will know I've been making some little 3D models lately. Kind of inspired by Viva Pinata. And over the summer I want to try and make something with it. Probably not a full-scale game, but something fun. Maybe just a couple guys walking around on a plane. Desktop app sort of thing. So, I'm going to be doing some concept art for that. Just for clarity's sake, let's bring up 3 that I've made so far. Go ahead and drag them over onto the screen so you guys can see them. Hey, the delay's not nearly as bad anymore. It's only like 3 seconds. It was like 18 seconds last time I streamed. So this is Sonotto. He's a snake, obviously. This is the first model I made and kind of the first inspiration I got for this whole thing. Next, this is Automander. He's a salamander. They're all stuffed animals, I should probably clarify, though it's probably pretty easy to tell that. And this, I haven't named this one yet, but this is a dart frog. He's meant to be, like, in comparison to Automander, he'd stand, like, up to the seam of his belly. He's really little. And then in comparison to this, he'd stand about to here, maybe. Very, very small little guy. Don't have a name for him yet. But something to do with poison and being soft would probably be the best, because he's a poison dart frog. But that's not really required. So, what I want to work on is I want to work on making a total of 10 models for this summer project. And if I end up liking it or seeing potential in this as a project, then I will make more. Because I've got a document on my phone that has 69, 68 total ideas for dolls. So I'm trying to pick a good mix of just a couple different ones. And so far for this project, what I want to work on is a crab, a mouse, a beetle, a horse, a monkey, a hedgehog, and a gecko. So that's a total of 7 more for a total of 10. And I might potentially add a chameleon and a guinea pig, because I just really like the chameleon and guinea pig. But alternatively, I might also swap one of these out with a bird. Hey, the Phoenix Lord, welcome. Thanks for joining. Sorry, the screen's blank right now. I'm about to get started here. So I guess let's just start. I'm gonna pick one. I've got a couple sketches on paper that I'll be basing these off of, but I guess let's just start with what I started with. Let's go with the crab. Let's see. Try and compartmentalize this document a little bit. There we go. Thinking maybe one would be kind of pillow shaped, because that makes sense, and he'll have square corners and all that, like a pillow. And do a seam across the front. And for his little mouth parts, I'll do kind of like a mustache of felt. I don't know if you guys ever had those stuffed animals that had the along the seams that have these like felt cutouts for usually teeth on a shark or an alligator. Today I'm going to be drawing some stuffed animals, essentially, yeah. So I don't know if you've ever played Viva Pinata, but this is essentially Viva Pinata sort of things. Over the summer I'm going to be making a little game thing. I've already created a few of them. I guess I can pull that back up. Already created a few. Here we go. So, this is one. This is Snuddle. He is a snake, if you couldn't tell. This is the first one I made about a week and a half ago. Couple days after that, I made this one. His name is Ottomander, like an ottoman and a salamander crossed. And then this one I finished just the other day, and I don't have a name for this yet. It's a poison dart frog. He'd stand maybe about up to here from the ground on Ottomander, but I don't have a name for him yet. Something to do with poison and being a doll. Because Ottomander, like an ottoman, is a piece of furniture, but it's a soft piece of furniture. And then Snuddle is cuddle snake. Yeah, so I'm going to be making more of those today. I should make a stream banner, but I feel like that would take a lot of time. And I don't have a whole lot of that today. Should have done that before. You know what? Let's do it. Let's pull up something in Microsoft Word. Here we go. Quick and dirty. Here we go. Give it an Enye. Wish there was an easier way to type an Enye than doing the Windows period. And there probably is, but I don't know it. Here we go. Okay. Get this pulled up. Crap. Alright, thank you for your patience. Let's see. Add a new source. Image. Interesting. Okay. Gotta love how easy all this stuff is. Alright, here we go. We got us a banner. Over the top or the bottom? I don't know. I think that works right there. Let's see it on page. How does that look? That works. Perfect. Alright, let's get started. Again. So, this crab, shaped like a pillow. I think his legs should come from a seam on the bottom. I'm trying to build these as much like real stuffed animals as I can. Just because I like that. I think it'd be fun. Let's give him, just for convenience sake, I'll give him 8 legs. I think crabs have one more pair, but it's not used for walking, so you don't ever see it. And along the seam here, we'll have his other little claw arm come out. Ugh, the soundtrack for New Leaf was so good. I don't know how they flubbed New Horizons so bad. The music's not bad, but it's not New Leaf. Let's just do simple shapes for now. It doesn't have to be all ultra thought out. Okay, so I like that shape. The top heaviness is really funny. I could try... Let's try just making the legs come off the sides, just on this one. Okay, I do like that better, honestly. That's much better. The legs on the bottom were funny, but not worth it. Okay, so let's try eyes. We could do eyes on stalks, like a real crab, and just make them felt little tabs. We could do big eyes on the body, but that's not very anatomically correct. Not that it needs to be, but I do value anatomical correctness. So let's try, I'm just gonna try a bunch of different spots. I mean, here's not gonna look good. Oh my gosh, that does look good. Hold on. I might have to keep this one. Hey, Maymone Arts, welcome to stream. Thanks for stopping by. I think you'll like this guy. His eyes are very far apart now. And I think I'll keep it like this. I think this really works well. I'll just move his arms a little further back and maybe... I mean, I can just do this now. Squish him horizontally a little bit. There we go. Yeah, that's perfect. He definitely needs more work, but this will be number 1. So let's do another one. Do a little bit more of a kind of trapezoid shape. So he's still a pillow, but not quite as pillow shaped, you know, a little bit more animal shaped. With this one, I want to try the eyes at the top. And then arms will be just little plush guys. I think I like this one a lot better, just in principle. Because it looks more like a box crab, which I really like box crabs. So we can do 2 seams down here, each with the legs. We'll give him Mr. Krabs style antennas. This will be 2. I'll go ahead and give this one irises. The arms will probably connect. Just a little tiny plush arm right here. I like that. And so they don't really move far from his face, but they can move a little bit. Okay, so I'm already liking that direction a lot, but let's try one more. Explore our options a little bit. Let's try kind of like a blue crab. So they've got the opposite situation going, where they're flat on the top and kind of disc-shaped down below. They've got these two angry eyes. Make a seam along the edge there, the eyes to come out of. And then the mouth. There we go, that works. Then for these arms, let's try... They're stuffed. They got stitches along the edge, they can't really move. And then we'll do kind of a tube situation, so we're not dealing with a bunch of segments. Might make everything a little easier. Let's go Kingler mode. Give it a big claw too. Make it more of a fiddler crab. So I really like this already, and it only just started. Let's try, give it a seam there. Just really trying to make these as sensical as possible. And I definitely want to keep these little dollop legs, because what stuffed animal is going to have super complicated invertebrate legs, you know? Alright, so this is 3. So what I'm thinking is I want to keep 2 and 3. One is not thrilling me, so we're going to leave that behind. I think, though, I might have to have both 1 and or 2 and 3, because I like both of these directions a lot. But for the demo, for the tech demo I'll be making over the summer, I'll pick I'll pick one of these two to do. So let us decide. I think maybe we gotta go with number 3. Just for the demo. So, number 3 will go on. That'll be the design I iterate off of for... What am I doing? For the actual model. And so, he can live... I will put him here in the corner. No, I'll put him up here. Alright, so that's the crab knocked off our list. So let's try for the mouse now. I've already pretty much decided how the mouse is gonna look. So this is just kind of for fun. But I do want to show him off. So the mouse, it's gonna be kind of a... So I hate rodents. I absolutely despise rodents. So it was really tempting for me to not even include any. But I was able to find a way that made it look still like a rodent, but not like cartoonishly cute, because I know how evil they can be. There's no way I'm gonna let it be cute. So this is kind of like a hacky sack. It's a very flat bottom, and it comes up like this. He's got this big nose, almost like a puppet, kind of. So he's got... I don't even know where his mouth would be. I haven't actually drawn the mouth on it. He's got little eyes. The mouth would probably be up like that. Yeah, that works. I want to make sure it's big enough. Let's do a seam along there. And one along the belly. And I think I'm gonna give him these just little felt hands. He'll probably move a little bit like a slug. He doesn't have arms, you know. So I mean, I'd already decided that this is what it's gonna look like. I think I might straighten its nose a little bit though. And remove that, because you probably couldn't see that eye. There we go. Perfect. And the tail is going to be a piece of yarn that's starting to kind of come unspooled at the end. And it's got a knot right here. So that's mouse. So it's 2 of our 7 down. Of course, I'd already worked on the mouse, so it's slightly cheating. Let's go with... Next on the list was the beetle. I'd like to do 2 beetles, a stag beetle and like a Hercules beetle, just to have a little bit of variety. I think I want to do the stag beetle first, though. So we'll work on that. And we'll do colors on these in just a minute. Just so there's more better stream retention, you know. Beetle, you're going to be kind of... I'm just going to draw this one from above, honestly. Makes everything a lot easier. Make him get eyes on the sides. Seam down the back right here. And then not a seam, but actually a split right here where his wing cases are. I'll make the wings like tissues or something. Little antennas. And then little lumpy legs. There's the beetle. I mean, it's obvious. I've got to make it super plush like that and stupid looking. Next on the list is horse, which I'm slightly... I'm not really worried about it. I know how I want it to look. My sister makes these horse dolls that she sells at farmers markets, and she makes them out of, I think it's 2 pieces of fabric. And the way that it's cut makes it shaped like a really abstract horse. So I do want that to be a thing. Let me go ahead and color some of these just real quick. Whoops. You're going to be gray. You're going to be caramel. We'll do a color layer, of course. We must. I'll have to make that a little lighter, but the general idea is there. Beauty. So I want to make sure these have interesting patterns. Because, I mean, if you've ever been to a fabric store, you've seen all the wild patterns you can get. And Viva Pinata, which is the game that's inspiring this, likewise has very unique patterns. But they have the awesome ability to use any pattern they want, because they just... each pinata is completely hand-designed, you know. With this, obviously these will all be hand-designed, but I want them to be made out of believable fabric, you know? I don't want each individual doll to have this special, unique, proprietary fabric with only designs that would work on that shape. I want there to be a lot of dolls that are made with just like stripes and spots, simple geometric shapes, floral patterns, so that it seems like it's actually a doll that someone made, instead of being special production thing. Like, I don't want these to feel like the kind of dolls you get at a museum or an aquarium in the gift shop, which have all the anatomical features and special fabric and stuff. I want these to feel like your granny learned that you liked animals and decided to make stuffed animals for you. Animal stuffed animals, what am I saying? Decided to make you stuffed animals as a gift. That's how I want these to feel. Very unprofessional, very homey, very DIY. But I might cave and make some of them have some special patterns if I just can't find exactly what I need. Hopefully I don't have to do that though. Ugh, New Leaf again. It's so freaking good. Man, I put so many hours into this game. New Leaf, I had... it's so many hours for a kid who had a 45-minute game allowance as a kid. So, still probably like 300 or something. Enough to have a very well decorated island and all that. Well, it's not even an island back then, I forgot. It was just a town. Honestly, New Horizons didn't really catch me. I played long enough to... I think I paid off my house, and that's about it. Just sometimes I feel like having too many creative tools is actually more of a burden than it is a help. It's kind of how I feel about the new Tomodachi Life game, too. It's like, there's so many tools now that it barely feels restricted. Like, it's not as funny at all. I grew up playing Tomodachi Life. I have more hours in Tomodachi Life than New Leaf. And I haven't played the new Tomodachi Life game, so maybe that would change if I played it. But I just was not sold by the demo or really any gameplay I've seen, because it just feels like really funny, not even funny, it feels like insane Mad Libs, if you've ever done that. So it's just a bunch of fill-in-the-blank questions with no meaning, you know? Like, there was a game mode in the first one called Quirky Questions that was like that. Where you'd fill in the blank and make your Miis say silly things or horrible things, depending on what you wanted. But I don't know if that's coming across well, but I'm just not compelled by that, you know? It, just doesn't feel very creative. Which I hate to say, because, I mean, I've been waiting for that game for years and years. I've been waiting since I had played the original, you know? Which is before the Switch came out. Which, I mean, I never had my own Switch anyway, but still, I was always hoping for a new Tomodachi Life to come out and grace us with its presence, but alas, when we did get it, it was just not up to my snuff. But, you know, the bright side is that's, however many, what is it, $50, $60 that I'm not going to spend, which is great. I don't have to spend more money, which I always appreciate. When a game kind of makes the decision for me, that I don't have to spend any time looking at it. I am going to spend a lot of time on these, but I want them to look good. So, it's worth it. I think this one will have spots. Beautiful. And I guess we'll give him some longitudinal stripes. Yeah, there we go. Like pinstriping like a suit. I can already see the texture. Just picture it very smooth. Nice. Perfect. Alright. That's enough coloring. There we go. Oh wait, I didn't do the mouse. Huh. I want him to be purple. I feel like that would be a good fit. Very gray, kind of lavendery purple, though. And he'll probably have a floral pattern, honestly. I want to give the rodents as much of a chance as possible, you know? Little purple tips to his ears, and of course he has to have a pink tail and feet. Beautiful. Alright, so there's our 3 of 7. We got 4 more to work on in the next... I'll probably go a little over. The next 45 minutes, let's say that. Can't make any huge promises, but that's what it's looking like. Alright, so horse is next in the lineup. I'm tempted to skip that one. No. I can't skip it. There's no reason to. Delaying the inevitable won't get me anywhere. I'm trying to see... I did a sketch of it at some point in my physical book, but I'm not seeing it. Chameleon, salamanders, praying mantis, snail. There's the horse. Okay, but I don't like that, so I'm gonna make a new one. Okay, so the dolls that my sister makes, they are very cute. Let me see if I can... There's no way that Etsy is going to work right now, so I can't pull it up. And I also don't know if she has an Etsy. But they're kind of similar to like a paper crane in posture. So very simple, round head, they flatten out. The legs go out like this, because it's all one piece of fabric on the top and then one piece on the bottom. And then she puts like little knots for the mane and tail. I think she puts ears, but she makes the ears go down always, so she makes them look sleepy, like this. There we go. That's kind of what they look like. Now that looks more like a giraffe the way I drew it, just because it's got a long neck. But I would like to kind of stick with this, honestly. I like how this looks quite a lot. I'll go ahead and give them flattened feet just for hoof's sake, you know. I like it. This is good. Let's just bring the neck in a little bit. Maybe make the head a little smaller. I like it. So that's a 1. I'll go ahead and extend the mane. This looks a little bit like a zebra. But you know what? Zebra's pretty much a horse, so why not? That works pretty well. Let's do this. Number 1, number 2. Much the same, but I want to kind of change the arch of the back a little bit. Let's go ahead and make it have like a normal mane. Maybe normal ears too. Go ahead and keep the sleepy eyes just for now. There's something wrong about this, but I can't tell what it is. I think I need to bring this head up higher. Oh, that fixes everything. Wow. seam goes down along the inside of the legs. Reaches back up there. Beautiful. So that's a one seam horse. Now I'll have to have a lot more seams on it for unwrapping, which is not ideal because the way I've been doing these in 3D is I unwrap the models along what will be the seams on the doll, which is really helpful because then I can just overlay exactly what I need on top of what I've got going on. Otherwise, I have to do mixing and matching. So if I stay with a simple pattern, that'll be easy. If not, I mean, it's not the biggest deal. Let me see. So I'm thinking I will be right back. Just a moment. you for the patience, all. Good start. Horses. This is where we were. This is number 2. This looks a little much like a My Little Pony for my taste, if I'm going to be completely honest. We could add a pony eventually, but I think it needs to not look like that. So let's try... I like the longer face. I think maybe it doesn't need to be snooped over that much, though. I could even make it more horsey. Nah, I think simple geometric is going to be my friend here. Let's just try a little. There we go. I like that. Make these hooves kind of flat instead of the big silly arms we've been doing. There we go. Little belly. Okay, I think this is going to be it for us. Yeah, number 3 is the king. Again, I might make the neck a little shorter, just like with the last one, but for now, this works for me. I'm going to go ahead and strengthen up some of these lines so we don't have to deal with weird colors. Okay, so she joins the roster, slightly smaller, of animals that are completed. Beautiful. And I'm happy with that, you know? And that's a good place to be. I like it. Okay. So these 2 can be banished. And next on our list is monkey. But you know what? I want to save that one for last because that's the one I'm most excited about. I've got the most good ideas for that. So I'm going to skip to gecko. So our reference material will be a crested gecko, which unfortunately with my poor latency right now, I cannot pull up an image of that for you. But if you grab your trusty handy-dandy supercomputer that is in your pocket or your hand right now, you'll be able to look up what a crested gecko looks like. They're very cute. And they've already got seams, which is perfect for me. So, how are we gonna do this? I think it needs to be like almost like a knapsack. Because crested geckos, they got a very, very triangular head. These big, big eyes. This big, giant smile. Like that. That's kind of what a crested gecko is shaped like. So I'm thinking I'll either have a big head, neck, little body, big chubby legs and a chubby tail. So I could either go this route, or what is more enticing to me, I could go kind of like a endless sack. That's not a very good explanation, but you'll understand in just a second. So the head's right here, but it just keeps going. I'm gonna go ahead and delete the other one, because you know what? I really hate that. It's not horrid, but it just doesn't fit what I want. Okay, here we go. It would help if I had a brush. There we go. So I want his body to just kind of keep going. His mouth just kind of keep going. He's got these little legs with big, flat, felt hands. This is very, obviously this is just an idea. Got big, flat, felt hands. And then big fat tail. So mouth goes way back here like that. I think that's really cute. Then the seam goes like that. There's another seam goes along the back, which is keeping it kind of square shaped. And that will also be what continues the frill or the crest. And so out of this seam, we'll get a little felt zigzag that goes out both sides. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. I might possibly make him stand. They don't stand in real life, but you know what? This isn't real life. This is cartoon dolls. So I can do whatever I want. Let's just try that. The same kind of conical legs. I do like that quite a lot. I can make it walk silly. Okay, there we go. So let's go with that. Let's go with that. I like that quite a lot. I do need to make him equal size with all that, so I'll shrink this one down and then draw over it just to make it easy. That's good enough.
Someone just popped in and left immediately. That's funny. Right when I happen to not be looking. Well, to you, if you come back, thanks for stopping by anyway. Even though you didn't stick around, it means a lot that you thought, you know what, this is a stream that I'm interested in. That it's very valuable to me, more than you could ever know, stranger. Whoops. Hold on. Which layer am I? There we go. Okay, that's still good. I was scared that that would be bad. Okay. So, I think there's something. Whoops. Over here in the ether. It's my layer preview is showing a tiny little section over here. Yeah, whatever. Alright, so we've got monkey and hedgehog left. So I'll go for another 15-ish minutes and work on that. Just for a reminder, here's what we've got so far. We've got a fiddler crab. Probably change the posture of his hand at some point. But we got a fiddler crab. We got a stupid little mouse. Got a beetle. A horse. And a gecko. So I suppose let's go on to the monkey. I'll go ahead and just draw a little square so I know exactly how big to make him, so it doesn't take up too much space. That should be good. So the monkey, I have a very basic... Oh, hey, welcome in. I have a very basic idea for the monkey. I think I will make him... I don't know what I'll make him. I was thinking a sock monkey, but I believe those are copyrighted. So I'm going to go sort of with that shape, though. So very continuous. That doesn't look right. There we go. Long, kind of sausage-like. Big long tail. I think the arms, will they come up from up here? I think they'll come down from way down here. That's funny, giving the monkey a massive long neck. That's really, I like that quite a lot. For those who are new, right now, you can see it in the little banner, but working on some concepts for a Viva Pinata inspired game. Just gonna be a summer project of mine. Maybe not gonna go anywhere, but it's been a lot of fun. I've already made 3, so I'll open that up for you real quick just to show you. So, made 3 so far. This is obscured. There we go. This is Snuddle. He's a cuddly snake, hence his name. This is the first one I made, what kind of spurred on the whole project. This is Ottomander. He's an Ottoman salamander. Super fun to make. This was a really fun challenge to get his mouth working properly, because it's a lot of weird mesh right there. And then finally, this one, I have no name for him, but this is a little dart frog. I'd imagine he'd probably stand just barely at the shoulder of Ottomander. If I could scroll. I can't go to the next picture. There we go. So yeah. He's probably about up to here. Dart frog's unnamed at this point. Eventually he will be named, but for now, that's fine. Alright, back to monkey. So, sock monkeys, they've got very distinct big muzzles. Big. And then the little eyes on top. I could go with that, honestly.
Just give him the ears. And forego the hat as to make it legally distinct. But I feel like there's more to do than just that. And that's kind of simple, you know? So let's try kind of an abstract sort of look here. I'm not sure how I feel about the nose. I think I might have to go noseless. Or maybe just... Nah, that looks weird. Monkey noses are very tough to draw in my experience, because, like, it's hard to make it not look like a cat if you're going super simple, and then when you're going for detail, it feels like it's just a human nose, which isn't what you need. Right now, this looks like the guy from the DreamWorks movie about the alien. I could do something like that. Maybe, or maybe something high up. Nah, that makes him look like a Muppet. Here we go. That works for me. So this is number 1. It definitely needs more work, for sure. I do think I want to forego the nose. So I do want to keep the long, kind of narrow shape, though. Necklace tube sort of thing. So let's try this. Big thick tail could be fun. I'll try the arms up high this time. Maybe even give him a neck. I guess we'll just... silly, long, curly arms, just for fun. Pose him like a 11-year-old's original OC. There we go. I like it. I think maybe he narrows a little bit. Does this look good? Nah. Needs to keep that. Maybe he widens. No, definitely not. Alright, so let's go to work on this face on this one. I think really low ears help it to look like a monkey. I think this is better. This is much better. Kind of like an Adventure Time character. Maybe we can even give it the lips from a sock monkey. There we go. I like this quite a lot. This is good. I can even give it a little pom-pom. Okay, so I'm going to keep this, but I am going to remove his neck and lower his arms. I think that's very important, that he's an uninterrupted sausage. So let's see. Maybe make him come out kind of midway. I hate that posture though, so let's just move his arm completely. I'd keep this one up here though. I'm not bothered by that. Just make him like holding this. There we go, that's perfect.
Okay, this is the monkey. This is perfect. As a starting point, at least, this is perfect. He does need seams, so let's give him a neck. One down the belly right here, and up the face. Strengthen up some of these lines so it's easier color. And I think that's it for him. This is fantastic. There we go. Sweet. Monkey's done. So we can stick him up here amongst the others. There we go. So there's 6 of our 7. So the last one is a hedgehog. And I have sketched this one a little bit. Most of these I have sketched a little bit outside, but not to this extent. The hedgehog is a different case because the hedgehog is going to be special. The hedgehog will be kind of analogous to a sour pinata in Viva Pinata, which this is based off of. So instead of coming into the garden as a nice little guy, the hedgehog will start as a little jerk. And you have to tame him. And then he'll become a part of your garden. So I'm thinking I want him to be kind of like a rubber ball or something. Just little eyes. Probably angry eyes when he's evil. His little nose come out. Okay, I dig it. Darkens his face a little bit. All except for the nose. So it looks like he's inside the ball. Give it a C. Oh, Mamone Arts. You hush. This is literally pure cinema. You can leave if you don't like it. And I think he's just gonna have little rubber spike legs. He doesn't have a whole lot in the way of plush. So that's Hedgehog. I mean, this is perfect as it stands. I might work on the face a little bit more. Let's give it a try. I don't want him to look too evil, because I mean, hedgehogs aren't super evil. His whole gimmick would be he buries in the ground and makes your dolls step on him, which scares them and makes him sad. I don't know what he'd do after you tame him, but yeah, it does kind of look like a little protective bit. I don't think... Do hedgehogs have whiskers? I don't know if they have whiskers. I mean, they probably do because they're mammals, but giving it whiskers makes it look too much like a rat. So maybe giving it less of a big schnoz, or less of a pointy schnoz will help. How does that? That kind of just looks like Bottles the Mall, which isn't a bad thing. Nah, I think the pointy nose stays. Then I don't know if I want to do the intense form change because oh, that's so mean. Yeah,
though. It does actually help quite a lot. It gives me an excuse to sound like a raving lunatic, you know?
I can just say whatever I want. Let's try just making it very similar when it's happy. Except they're like round bumps. Make his head a little bigger. Round bumps. Still have this plastic seam going along the back. I'll probably make this all kind of a jelly texture. Okay, so for this,
Maimone Arts, how about you help us out?
for his happy face, what should we do? Because, I mean, hedgehogs have pretty wide apart eyes on their actual real-life counterparts. I could do something like this and just a little... Okay, that's actually really cute. I think it needs to go out like that. Looks a little bit like a dog. Just a little bit, though. Kind of angry beaver's nose. There we go. I like that quite a lot.
Yes, 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 yes.
Okay, we'll give him a little rubber ball feet. Why not? Oh, he needs ears. Perfect. Okay, he's beautiful. I don't think... I'll refine their line art a little bit. Like the other ones, just to make it colorable. And it's just random balls around him a little bit. This is just basic concepts though, so it doesn't need to be super polished. And I'm just about at time, so I'll finish coloring these and then we'll call it a night. Thanks to everyone who stopped in. Hopefully I'll have another stream for you fairly soon, probably doing the same thing. Or possibly working on 3D models. However, 3D modeling is really, 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 really boring to stream. So I don't think that would be an enjoyable stream whatsoever.
Though I could try it.
Sprinkles. These kind of are sprinkles already. I mean, just like really big ones. No. That could be really cute for the happy version to give him like glitter like this. Yeah, I like that a lot. Thanks for the suggestion, brother. And so let's sharpen this up just a little bit. Get it sharp, like a sharp thing. I'm so funny. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to color the rest of these. Monkey's going to be dark red. Horse is going to be kind of pinkish gray. Gecko, orange. Oh, that's on a different layer, isn't it? Oops. Forgot I drew that one on a different layer. This one, I think it's going to stay purple, just get darker. And this one is going to be like a deep kind of magenta-ish, angry color. Beauty. Okay, let's get to color. I'll make this one the same, honestly. Base layers, very pastel pink for you.
Stop spamming.
Come on, just because you're the only one here doesn't mean you get to run amok all over the place. And no, you don't get friend in real life privileges, dummy. And you know what? When I make it big and become a... Yeah, chat saved. So all of that's going to be memorialized forever. You're just trying to get me to... I see what you're trying to do. You want me to respond to your insane messages so that I sound crazy. But the chat is saved, so people are just going to see you and be like, wow, this guy's crazy. Good job on this streamer for not playing into it. Yeah, be afraid. I'm going to post this to clips. Streamer gets harassed by local village idiot. Hilarity ensues, not clickbait. And it's gonna get 10 million views. And still no one's gonna care about what I'm actually streaming. But maybe they will. I'm loving this. This is Animal Crossing with rain sounds. And it's really good. Because, I mean, Animal Crossing music is fantastic, obviously. Especially New Leaf music, which is what this is. But having it, like, with rain sounds makes it even better, because rain sounds are amazing. I wish I had a more scientific way to say that, but I didn't. So, there. You get what you get and you don't pitch a fit. Don't have a name for any of these either. So, if anyone comes up with ideas, just comment it, because most of you are probably more clever than I am when it comes to names. So let me have it. I'll take a look at all of them.
Yes, you are the view bait. View bait Maimon is what you called.
This needs to be a darker orange. Oops, I forgot it's on a different layer. Then I'll use the previous orange, sort of, the body. And I'll do some simple color patterns on these. Just like with the beetle and everything. This is kind of a horrible orange, not gonna lie. I kinda hate it, but we'll go with it. Huggy hog. That's stupid. Give me a real suggestion, come on. One that doesn't sound like it came from a 2-year-old. Though honestly, getting name suggestions from 2-year-olds might be a good idea. Though it'll probably be stuff like Sam! Frankie! Which I don't really want, but I could work with it. That's a horrid color. But just slightly darker and it's perfect. This one's Monkey Boy. Gosh, I love his name. That's what a 2-year-old would say, because they sound like that, you know. Hedgehog. You're getting better, but he's a rubber ball. So maybe like Hedge Boink. Like a ball makes a boink sound in a cartoon. But it needs to work with both his happy and his sad, or his angry version. Because I want them to sound very similar. Or not sound similar. I want them to have the same name. You know? Icky Bicky Snuggle names. Extrapolate what that means. I'm very curious now. I'm waiting. He needs to have a dark red head. No. Blue. I'm partially copying the Cinemonkeys palette from Viva Pinata. Just because that's a peak monkey. It's really tempting to just completely copy the Cinemonkey, honestly. It's such a good monkey. While staying silly. Let's see. I think his lips purple, why not? Just for fun. It's just Icky Bicky. I don't know, but I'm glad that you do. Because now I know someone who knows what Icky Bicky means. Eventually I could add a lemur too. Honestly, that could be a good addition. But I can't think too far ahead. The temptation to add King Julian right now is very, very high. I can withstand the temptation. Okay, so this is perfect. I wasn't entirely sold before. Let's make him some very gentle, kind of buttery yellow. There we go. This is already going against my rule of having patterns that make sense. But that's fine. Oh, a very binky bonky way of saying itty bitty. That's what I thought. That does make sense. I should have just gone with my gut and not looked like a total idiot by asking. But you know what? It's fine. Beauty. Ooh, okay, I like having stripes on this. Beautiful. Okay, there's the monkey. Nice and sock monkey, but also pretty unique. Horse. I think I know what I'm going to do with the horse. It's going to be very simple. Very, very simple. This is just going to be a single tone tan. Because I want to imitate my sister's dolls as much as I can. Just single tone tan on the belly. And then on the back, I'll do kind of a... I don't have a... Kind of a floral pattern. For now, we'll just do this because it makes sense. Perfect. And that's what it'll be like. Of course, I'll do a real floral pattern, but I'll probably make the mane pink or something. Could do multicolored strands, but I feel like just straight up pink is the way to go. I guess this is the red from the monkey. It's a very pinky red, so I think it counts.
Beauty. Okay. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, let's take a survey of what we have so far. Got crab, mouse, monkey, beetle, horse, gecko, and then the happy and angry hedgehogs. So color for the gecko is going to be really, really simple. Maybe I'll make it more complex later, but just kind of a... Am I not on the right? I was not on the right layer. It's just two lines along the back. Probably the same stripe on the legs. Thank you, Mr. Maimone. I appreciate that. I like it too. Little light toes. With crested geckos, they're one of those animals that's bred to high heaven, so there's all sorts of cool variants and stuff. There's one specific type that's really popular and famous called the lily white. And they're very popular because they're rare, as things tend to go. Let's make the rest of his body this dark color. I like that. Because it's a genetic morph, like a mutation, that happens rarely, and I think it's recessive, which means that both parents have to have been the children of lily whites to bring forth lily white children. I think that's how that works, essentially. I could be wrong. So it's just really tough to get. And it's quite expensive, but it's very pretty. Essentially, instead of being just brown, they'll have a little bit of white, or up to a lot of white. You can Google it. Up to a lot of white mixed in on their pattern on the back. And they're really stunning. I understand why they're so expensive. I'm not interested in crested geckos, so like I'd never get one, but it's cool to know they're out there. You know, schmo. I'm gonna make the crests this really bright orange, just for fun, you know. For those wanting to know, Maimone Arts is a friend of mine in here. No, they don't lack pigment, so it's not albinism. It's white pigment, not just a lack of pigment like an albino or leucistic. That's what makes it so cool. It's quite interesting. I mean, if you look up a picture, you'll see. So for the purple guy, I'm going to make it kind of a jelly purple. So I do love rendering me some jelly. So let's get it done. I also love this freaking brush. Oh my gosh. Alright. So I'm liking that quite a lot. So let's just add a little bit of counter shading inside these bubbles too. Not a whole lot. And I'll add a highlight at some point as well. That's his ear. Come on, color picker, work. Anywho, what I was saying about Maimone Arts is
he's a buddy of mine who's going to be helping me on the project, actually. So say hi to him if anyone's here live. But he's going to be helping me with the music. He's got some of his own projects, which are very cool, but none of them involve music at all at this stage. So I'm letting him use his little pent-up musical energy on this. I'm not letting him. I asked him to help me because he's a very good musician. So go give him a follow on Instagram. He's got the same name and everything. Working on a web comic, The Anxious Wild. It's very, very impressive. Just a fun coming-of-age story that involves cool fantasy and not in your face, but good moral lessons, you know? So it's not preaching to you the whole time, but it's actually teaching you in a nice, healthy pace, you know? So it's pretty great. Alright, so that's, I do want to make his highlights. That's this guy. Make his sprinkles pink, too. Beauty. And I'll do pretty much the same thing for this one. Oh, does it help you with the music? That's good. That is very good. Now I know I can just shove my drawings in your face anytime I want you to come up with new music ideas. I think for the next stream, I want to work on some landscape and just general vibe, you know? So colors of the environment and stuff like that. So that will certainly be helpful for musical world, you know? Hopefully you'll be able to draw a good amount from that. Full icky bicky, be my guest. I mean, I can say no if I don't like it in the end, but I want you to make it anyway. I want to see what that demented little brain comes up with. How does this work? Probably like that. That works. There we go. I think this is good. Of course, add some highlights. I don't know what color to make his face. Probably just a brighter red, honestly. That'll probably be a good bet. Keep the inside of his head this dark red color. And then obviously white eyes. Beauty. I love that. Okay. Oh, we need white eyes too. I think this guy needs something. And I think I know exactly what that thing is too. So let's just add that really quick, because I think that'll really pull it together. And that kind of makes him look like a sheep. Hedgehogs, you know, they've got the the spikes like all the way down onto their forehead usually. So let's just try like that. Makes him look like a sheep a little bit, but we'll roll with it. We'll roll with it. See what comes about. I think another solution might be to just inset his head a little bit more. But for now, that works. That works perfectly fine. Okay, I think we're done. So let's get a good view of all of them at once. That's not a good view of all of them at once. Beauty. Okay. Here. Oh, that's blocked. Hold on. Forgot I had a banner on the screen. Let's see. Does that show everyone? Close enough. This is what we got from the stream today. Ah, forgive me for getting the vibe of your story wrong. That is my bad. But it's good. No matter what. It's very good. What we got from today, we got Fiddler Crab. This was number 1. It's the first one we did. I am quite happy with this little idiot. I think he's very good. I'll give him a B- for now, because he definitely needs some work. Mouse, I already designed this one. I'm biased. I think this is definitely an A design. Monkey needs work, but it's really close to where I want it to be. So let's give that an A-. Beetle, A+. That's just, it's perfect. I didn't need to do anything for it. It's perfect already. Horse, I think this one needs a little more work, but the vibe is right. Gecko, same with the horse. So let's give that a B. Happy Hedgehog, I think this needs a C+. It has some room to improve. Angry Hedgehog, this is A+. Easy A+. So those are our scores. Everything looks great. Honestly, I'm really happy with this. Thank you to those of you who stuck around the whole time. I really, really appreciate that. Obviously, getting on your feet as a streamer sucks the whole way down. So, appreciate the viewership. If you want, go and check out my Instagram, which is the same handle as my YouTube channel. I'll be posting other updates on this stuff. More of my 3D work, because that's just kind of hard to film and hard to stream. And hopefully I'll be able to make some YouTube videos about, like, long form videos about this, and probably shorts too, as much as I hate to do it, about the project, just to share it around and show interest, because I'm really excited for this project. I think it could be really fun. And I mean, which of you could say you don't want one of these little idiots wandering around in a garden causing mischief, you know? That'd be perfect. Everyone would love that. So, if you're interested, check out my Instagram. I'll keep more updates on this, and then there will be videos about it, I promise, in the not too distant future. With all that said, I think we're done here. So, thank you all so much for stopping in. And that'll be it.